Jacksonville 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Did not come home from high school today. She go to Jailhouse High School. Her phone is going straight to voicemail. It's not like her.
Okay.
You have no idea what she is.
She was just 16. She was pregnant.
So she come home every day because she got responsibility. She walked to the elementary with her sister to pick her brother up, and 5 months pregnant.
And now she is missing.
It's overwhelming them. They deserve better. They deserve better. Naomi deserves better. Your family deserves better. You were raised to be a quality person.
And that I am.
And they deserve to know the truth.
No body, no crime scene, no murder weapon.
Jonathan killed her. Jonathan killed her, and he got rid of her body in a dumpster. Number what?
Truck number 7.
Truck number 7.
And yet her uncle would be convicted of her murder by his own words. What makes a man confess to the unthinkable again and again? If you believe Ayanna Sawyer's story deserves to be heard and that justice shouldn't depend on whether there's a body, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and drop a comment with your thoughts on the verdict. Let's make sure voices like Ayanna's are never forgotten. It was December 19th, 2018, a Wednesday, Jacksonville, Florida. Ayanna Sawyer, just 16, didn't come home after school. That alone was enough to raise alarms. Her mother, Kimberly Mobley, knew her daughter's habits. Ayanna didn't stray off track. By evening, Kimberly was already on edge. Something wasn't sitting right. Ayanna was a sophomore at Terry Parker High, top of her class, always on time, always focused. Her younger sister, a freshman, went to the same school. Her younger sister had called their mother first, panicked. Ayanna hadn't gotten on the bus. Kimberly was at work when she got the call. She picked up the phone and called 911.
Jacksonville 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Did not come home from high school today. She go to Jailhouse High School. Her phone is going straight to voicemail. It's not like her.
Okay.
You have no idea what she is.
Kimberly made it clear this wasn't like her daughter. Something was off. She didn't know what, but she knew it wasn't right.
Do you think it's foul play?
Man, I have no idea. This is not like, this is out of character for her.
Okay.
And for me to call you all, something's wrong.
Okay.
Something is definitely wrong.
Okay.
So she come home every day because she got responsibility. She walked to the elementary with her sister to pick her brother up, and she's 5 months pregnant.
Okay.
Once the news broke that Ayanna was missing, the whole family lit up their phones. It was chaos. They called friends, neighbors, teachers, everyone. Nobody could figure it out, how a girl like Ayanna could vanish without a trace. Attendance records said she skipped her last 2 classes that day. And cameras? They showed her walking off school grounds at 11 a.m. That was the last confirmed sighting. Randall Smith taught AP at Terry Parker. She was the last known person to see Ayanna before she disappeared. He remembered her well.
We were taking a test that day. She did just fine on it. She did really well on the test. Be quiet, always did her work, good grade.
She had big plans, medicine or law. She hadn't decided which, but she was serious about both. She was close to her mom, the kind of kid who didn't hide much, at least not usually. Randall had a hard time after she vanished.
Because they didn't know, you couldn't just withdraw the student. Literally for the rest of the year, I had to mark her absent every single day. And so you had that daily physical reminder of something you had to do.
There was something else, something even her teacher didn't know. At just 16, Ayanna was 5 months pregnant. It wasn't public. She'd only told her mom not long before she vanished.
The only bad judgment she did was getting pregnant. She's on track to graduate this year in 5th grade. She's an honor student, honor society student, all that, no problems. And This is just not like her at all.
The family didn't push her away. Instead, they embraced it. They even picked out a name, Hazel Michelle. They just wanted Ayanna safe. Footage from the school showed her walking out at 11 a.m., just like attendants had said. But after that, nothing. The camera lost her. Whoever picked her up, they stayed just outside the lens. She had 2 bags with her. One looked like a normal school bag, books, notebooks, the usual. The other one stood out. That bag was stuffed with Victoria's Secret items. Nobody could explain that part. It didn't fit the rest of the picture. Police leaned toward one theory, that she'd left on her own. Maybe stress at home, maybe something about the pregnancy. Maybe she just didn't want to talk about who the father was. They thought there'd been no signs of force, no struggle, nothing alarming at the school. They did their basic checks, walked around, set up a tip line, but most of the heavy lifting, that came from the family. They searched, asked around, and posted flyers. But no matter how much they looked, they couldn't find her. By day 2, the trail was cold. No messages, no calls, no sightings. Police still leaned toward the runaway theory, until Kimberly Mobley found something that changed everything. She was tearing through her daughter's room, not out of panic, but purpose. Checked the closet, opened every box, searched the laptop, anything that might point to where Ayanna went. Then she found it. It was a Word document, buried in the recycle bin. Looked like something Ayanna had tried to delete. Kimberly opened it, read through it once, then again. It wasn't just a journal. It was personal, raw, a few pages long. Ayanna had poured her thoughts into it, her feelings, her heartbreak, her silence, all about someone named Jose.
How do you get to it? Tell me how you get to it.
I went there in the recycle bin right here.
The recycle bin?
And then she also got other notes over here on the side. If they asked you for a password, she got some of the notes locked. And she got other stuff that she wrote in here about him too, though.
All of it pointed to something Ayanna had tried to keep private, and Kimberly had never heard the name Jose before. Who was Jose? That question hit hard. Was it someone real, or a name she used to hide the truth? Kimberly didn't know, but now police were paying closer attention, because this wasn't looking like a runaway anymore. One clue came from the past. The name wasn't Jose, but it brought up someone else. Almost a year before Ayanna vanished, there had been another man, an older neighbor who lived just across the street. His name was Kamar Humphrey. Back in early 2018, when Ayanna was 15, he'd been involved with her.
March of 2018, did police come to your home?
I believe so, yes, ma'am, in March, yes, ma'am.
And what happened when police came to your home?
I believe this is the time I did the mouth swab, I believe.
And what did they tell you why they were doing that mouth swab?
For a kit or something like that.
Were you in a relationship with IS?
Can you describe a relationship?
Whatever you believe a relationship is, were you in any sort of relationship with IS?
Yes.
How many times had you and IS slept together?
Once.
Kimberly had pushed for a rape kit. The police had followed through, took a DNA sample from Humphrey. The results matched, and that made him a registered offender. With all that sitting in the file, police shifted focus. Now they had a reason to believe Ayanna hadn't just run off. Now they had someone they needed to talk to again. And the closer they looked, the more questions came up. So, who was Jose, really? At first, everyone thought the answer might be Kamar Humphrey. He had a history with Ayanna, and it had already been confirmed through DNA. But there was one problem. The timeline didn't match. The pregnancy didn't line up with when he had last been with her. That didn't mean the relationship had ended. Friends said it had gone on for months. But still, police had to ask where he was the day Ayanna vanished. He had an answer. Proof, too. He was out of town. So they ruled him out. But that left them with a bigger question. If Kamar wasn't Jose, who was? The answer came from someone closer than anyone expected. Ayanna's sister finally spoke up. She said Jose wasn't her boyfriend. Jose was Uncle John. Uncle John, his real name, Jonathan Quilles. Jonathan was married to one of Ayanna's aunts, Naomi. The kids called him Uncle John. He was a friendly, reliable man who worked hard. He had a kid, and another one on the way. Everyone liked him, and that's what he took advantage of.
Can you tell us what happened when you and the defendant are in the water at the beach when you're 13 years old?
Yes. He was touching me like with his hands over my body.
As Ayanna's younger sister, Simia, later recalled in testimony, Kimberly called the police and told them what she'd learned. She was certain now that Jonathan Quilles and Jose were the same person. So, on the 27th of December 2018, officers headed over to his house with a warrant to search the house. Jonathan pulled up while they were still outside, calm, steady, not shaken at all.
Hey, John, what's going on?
This is crazy. Yeah.
Was reported missing today. Is she here? Was she here?
No. There's no. She's not. There's no report of a missing child today.
And who's the other lady next to her?
That's her sister, and I think that's my sister's wife.
Okay. Some craziness
all
stuff.
This just got
dropped
happened, on me. Like
both of us. I was just trying to get this damn guy to sign a lease over there, and I'm coming back. I see patrol cars in my dang house.
He had just come back from trying to get a lease signed. Still, he played it cool. Said he was just as confused as everyone else.
So, I'm going to tell you, with regards to this here, do I think my husband is capable of any of this? No, I don't. But I don't. We have a missing piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, so those are some pretty serious allegations.
Yeah, you tell me about it. And this is the reason, because me and my wife, we don't even talk to any of them because they were starting these rumors a while back. It's like...
He explained they were alienated because his sister-in-law was habitual of this.
We literally had her kids for summers. Summer at a time, and then weekends. All of them. And it's just like if we knew where she was at, we would have been the first ones to grab her ass and bring her over.
Yeah, exactly.
We're posting stuff on our Facebook trying to find her the same way they are.
Jonathan and Naomi admitted that there had been some tension since the girl's mother had blocked their number after finding a Word document on Ayanna's laptop.
Once that all happened, we got blocked completely from having any communication.
But then the girl said, well, we can't speak with you now because we blocked. Mama said to block you, so we got to wait until this passes over. So, the same, but it's not uncommon.
Yeah, this has happened before, and then they come and they'll stay, weekends over here at the house.
If they knew anything, they'd be out there searching too, just like the rest of the family. As the conversation continued, it became clear the officers were circling in. They needed to ask the hard questions. So, Ayanna wasn't happy. At least, that's what her uncle was trying to establish. The teen wasn't great with her mother, and good guy Jonathan was there to guide her.
I explained to them, I was like, listen, your situation is awesome compared to my situation growing up, you know what I mean? I had a real rough one growing up. Just, stay focused in school. Stay focused. You want to get out the house, the right way is
get your school,
and then she's honor student, like
that's
big
good.
Time, big time. She's an honor student, and
according to Jonathan, Ayanna was planning to leave.
She's doing everything that she needs to do to go ahead and make a transition to get out and go to college. And I was like, well, that's the best way, that's the best way to go.
Yeah.
The officers were letting him talk, and he talked. He went on, and finally started giving them the goods. Ayanna had told him she was pregnant.
When I asked her about it, she said that she knows who the father was, but she ain't saying.
Oh, she did know?
Yeah, she knows who the father of the child was. So
With that information, he started painting her character.
But then You know what I'm saying? You can't really take anything that she's saying serious because now that she's been gone, all this stuff that's been going on, going around, she's been dealing with this dude, then that dude, and this other one is something that she was dealing with cousins at the same time. That one's supposed to be the baby father or something. You know, another one she's dealing with. So I question literally everything.
Making her sound like a promiscuous teenager just looking for trouble. But then something else slipped. As they were talking through Ayanna's things, trying to list what she might have taken when she left, his wife Naomi mentioned that she'd packed a lot of Victoria's Secret stuff. That alone raised eyebrows. But when Jonathan chimed in with something far more specific, he said Ayanna had taken exactly 38 pairs of Victoria's Secret underwear. 38. The number came out casually, like it was normal for an uncle to know something like that. But it wasn't. Something about this man felt off. The officers were just observing him, and eventually they got to the routine procedures. His wife stood by him. She told police she didn't believe her husband was capable of something like this. As they slapped the cuffs on his wrists, the couple remained calm. The officers stepped aside to discuss his story. She kept insisting everything was okay. Jonathan claimed he was an officer and had left the force to become a bounty hunter. He wasn't arrested that day. After the interview, they let him go. Detective Abbott was now in charge, and the first thing he did was rush the DNA kit Jonathan had submitted. They already had a assault kit from Ayanna, collected back in March of 2018. The original results had shown DNA from Kamar Humphrey, the boy she'd once had a relationship with. That much made sense. But there was something else, another unknown DNA sample in the mix. Abbott wanted to know who it belonged to. The answer came back on January 7th, 2019. It was Jonathan Quillis. Jonathan was no longer just a suspicious uncle. He was now a confirmed match in a case involving a missing pregnant teenager. It had been months since Ayanna Sawyer vanished. The diary had already pulled Jonathan Quillis into the picture, but now detectives were ready to go deeper.
What can you tell me about Samaya? Like, why do you think you would be here because of Samaya?
I've been accused many times by the older siblings, the sisters and stuff, that I've been inappropriate with Ayanna and Maya.
So he knew why he was there, but he was immediately on the offense, so he could save his face.
And how would they think what would they think is inappropriate?
Well, let's say this. The first time that it was brought to anybody's attention, they didn't hear it directly from them. I heard it from like a sister, Margie, and she mentioned that that they think that I was the reason that Yana was turned out because she got caught in, having sex with a guy that was over 21 across the street. So, but prior to this, we've had complications in the family.
It was also important that he told the officers how good he and his wife were.
I mean, we always help Kim, because she has 4 children. Mm-hmm. She's like almost on a minimum wage salary. Her lights always getting cut off. We always help them feed the kids, take them when she needed a break and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So she supposedly was on the wall with it, like, oh, hold on. But then again, as time passed, my wife made me aware. She never stopped them from, questioning them and stuff like that. But anyway,
he had gone out of his way for them.
So the girls would come over to your house and you do like trips to the beach.
We always the pool we had at the house. Right. We had this is when we lived in 1503 East Lovejoy. I had a tire swing, I had zip lines, I had hammocks. This is all for them, because my daughter was still too young. I had go-karts, it's just a huge backyard, about a half-acre backyard. Right. So the pool was there over in the backyard, and the beach. Now the beach at first they didn't really care for the beach. They didn't know how to swim in the beach and stuff like that.
But they would stay the night. They'd spend time at your house. And there was
the whole summer.
Anybody accusing you of anything then?
No.
And again, he told them how naive he was while Ayanna was the clever one.
Give me an example of things they think were inappropriate.
Well, I would just say what they were saying, and again, this is not something that they came directly to talk to me about, because had they did, I would have whipped out my phone and say, hey, look, Kim, wait, no, this is what we talk about every day, and the majority of it.
So you talk to them on the phone?
Yeah, I talk to them.
You talk to them, what do you... So what, did you use Facebook?
No.
Instagram,
Ayanna Snapchat. Ayanna showed me about Snapchat. Okay. I didn't know nothing about Snapchat. I didn't even know what the hell.
I know. That's their language.
So, that's what she showed me how to do. And then something about score streaks. So you send pictures in the morning and then in the afternoon or whatever. As much pictures as you can send. Like selfies or whatever, or even the sky, whatever. Right. You get like a certain score streaks or whatever. Mm-hmm. I still don't understand that too well.
Jonathan also tried to deflect the blame to someone else.
She met up with him. Her face was super swollen, like as if she got beat up, and she gave him a letter. And the letter pretty much was, I'm sorry, my mom forced me to, admit that I had sex with you. I know it never happened, and yeah,
she said it
never happened. And this is it was okay, mind blowing, Right. And also there was another time that Samaya told me this about her cousin, which was goodness, what the hell is his name? Freaking hell. Elijah. Supposedly he was molesting her since about 5 to 7 years old until...
While he was trying to make himself sound like a supportive uncle, he said something that would alert the detectives.
Because she told me, you know what I'm saying? It's, the guy that's supposedly having inappropriate, contact with her, she was the one that confided to me. You know what I'm saying? And I coached her to expressing this to mom, telling them about it and stuff like that.
He just admitted to putting words in Ayanna's mouth.
And, I only have ever just been, you need to keep your head up. You're a straight A student. You're gorgeous. You don't need to settle for nonsense. And that's all it's been. I've never, ever, ever got out of line with this girl. Ever.
He was already out of line by telling her what to say to her mother and calling her beautiful. The detective circled in.
So there would be no reason to have any of your DNA?
Nope, not at all. In fact, if anything, you guys took my DNA at the house, correct?
He pointed out that he'd already given his DNA when police searched his house, but she confronted him with the evidence.
So neither girl would have your DNA?
Nope.
So if I were to tell you that I found some underwear that had your DNA in it, how would you explain that?
I would say that there's no way in shape in any form. Okay. Yeah, there's no way.
His DNA was found on Ayanna's underwear. Jonathan remained cool.
There's no doubt that you're a good guy. You're a stand-up guy. You take care of your family. You take care of your family's family. I have no doubt about that, okay? I have no doubt you tried to be a father figure. I have no doubt you tried to be a positive influence on those girls. No doubt in my mind, okay? No doubt at all. It's obvious that you love those girls like they're your own. I can see your face light up.
Yeah.
Nice and bright when you talk about them, because you love them like they're your own,
Correct.
And I don't doubt that for a second, okay? But I also know there's a reason why your DNA came back to Samaya's kit, okay? The kit, they sent the clothes, her kit, and everything off. Or Ayanna, I'm sorry. I get the two mixed up all the time.
Yeah, he's talking about Ayanna.
But with cold hard facts, he is visibly tense. The detective leans closer, looking him straight in the eye, to ensure he knows she is not playing around.
I can understand
listen
that.
to me.
Yeah.
Honey, look me in the face. I would never bring you in here if I did not have that DNA 110%. Because I would know that I was fishing in the dark, and I don't fish in the dark. Ever. Ever. I think you are a genuinely kind person. And I say that sincerely. I just look at me.
I'm looking at you.
I don't fish in the dark, my dear.
Okay.
I've been doing this so long. Long in the tooth.
Mm.
And I'm telling you right now, I did not bring you in here to go fishing in the dark either. So don't insult me.
I'm not insulting you at all.
Don't insult me with the DNA because I'm 100% on that. She had your DNA, male, in her underwear. Do you understand?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but that's no way.
I'm just saying, no, there's 100%.
It's
No. Because either I'm lying or it's 100%, and I'm telling you it's 100%.
Yeah.
That is something that I would never do in my business, in what I do. And let me tell you why. I have a policy on that.
Jonathan's voice drops, and he is closed off, hands tightly clasped on the table. He is breathing differently as he weakly denies it. He tries to see what they have on him by baiting them.
Because when I do what I do, because I'm special assault, that's what I do, right? Mm-hmm. If I go in a room and I say, yeah, I found your DNA, and they know their DNA couldn't be there, see, I'm fishing in the dark, I'm swatting at flies. And there's no sense in doing that because it backfires every time. And when I train other detectives, I tell them, don't you go in there and bullshit about DNA, because it either is or isn't. And if you don't know, then shut your mouth. That's where I'm at. I'm not shutting my mouth. The DNA's there. Now, I don't know how it got there in her underwear, so I'm not going there, but I'm just telling you. There'd be no other reason for her DNA to be there.
The detective's answer sobered him up.
It's overwhelming them. They deserve better. They deserve better. Naomi deserves better. Your family deserves better. You were raised to be a quality person.
And that I am.
And they deserve to know the truth.
Yeah. I'm laying it all out for you. I'm laying it all out for you guys. I mean, you say you got DNA on me. I mean, I'm not trying to insult you.
Listen, that has nothing
or anything
to do
like that.
That has nothing to do with
implying about a dumpster or whatnot at the job as if I had something to do with Ayanna's disappearance, and this is what you guys are pushing towards me. You know, but you're not saying it. I mean, you're kind of beating around the bush with it. Just tell me what you guys are implying. You're implying that I had something to do with Ayanna's disappearance, and then and possibly being a dumpster. Is that where this is going right now?
We believe you're responsible for her disappearance, yes.
But just when the tension couldn't get any higher, something else dropped. A phone call came in to the Duval County Sheriff's Office. The man on the other end introduced himself as Joseph Quiles, Jonathan's brother.
Do you have siblings?
I have my brother.
And are you twin?
No.
Oh, is he older or younger?
Older.
He's older? Mm-hmm. You guys get along?
For the most part, yeah. Our relationship has never been,
And what Jonathan's brother told them was like something out of a nightmare.
So, can you tell me why the brother that has your back would make a phone call and tell us in such great detail how she must have been suffering?
Everything he's told us is lining up. Your job's cooperating. They're pulling all the video.
Yeah.
They've got the cadaver dog back there in the back where the old cars are. Okay.
Jonathan had told him everything, down to the details. He said he'd lured Ayanna to his workplace, a spot with no cameras, no other employees around. It was noisy there, loud enough to cover screams.
We tracked down the dumpster, who picked it up, confirmed that it was picked up on the same day, just like you told them.
What? Like I told who? My brother?
Your brother.
Mm-hmm.
No.
How would someone in New York know all these things?
Me and my brother talk a lot.
Yeah.
Threw her
That's
phone
right.
off the bridge.
Yeah.
How would he know so many details? And honey, he's in another state.
Yeah.
He's describing your workplace. He's like laying it out.
I've been
But
on
why would
video
he do that?
chat with him.
Why would he do
times.
that though?
Video chat's not going to cover all that. You know that.
No. Video chat. I've been on with video chat, and he knows my workplace because I stay.
No.
I work.
Besides that, he is so detailed.
I don't know what he have told you.
He told us.
He told us the truth.
No.
He told us you tried choking her.
No.
Listen to me. Look at me, hon. It's a very personal thing.
Yeah.
To choke someone. And he said that it was making you sick.
No.
And it was making you sick looking at her face, probably listening to her. She was probably begging you, gurgling,
Panicked.
I'm so sorry, guys.
And he said that
This is
you
not-
got really upset, and then you ended up shooting her.
No.
Joseph said Jonathan had called him one night in December. It was either the 19th or the 20th. Jonathan had sounded panicked. He said there was a girl who might be pregnant with his child. Then came the words Joseph could never forget. His brother said he had to get rid of the body. The call ended, but a little while later, Jonathan called him again. This time, he was calm and said it was taken care of. Then, like it was nothing, he told Joseph he'd dumped her body in a dumpster.
Your brother had too many details, and maybe you did walk through on the video chat or whatever. He knew things about the inside of that junkyard that he wouldn't know. He knew things about that bridge that's between your home and your work, where you told him you threw her phone off in the river.
No way.
And you're going to sit there and still
We
say
have a dive team
I'm telling
looking.
you.
Your boss is helping.
Yeah.
We've got dogs in that yard.
They found a
It's
car.
the little things
When we went out there,
too.
they found a car with blood in it.
No way.
Then, the detectives dropped the hammer. They asked him how Joseph could have possibly known the details he shared with them, how he knew about the warehouse, the dumpster, even the pregnancy. Jonathan said he didn't know.
She's speaking from the dead. She's speaking from the dead. 4 pages at different times of her love, professing her love, and how she wants to run away. How y'all are going to just be that little family that I talked about. How when you're so in love, you just are gullible and you do whatever someone says. And if they say, hey, pack a couple bags, meet me on the edge of your school property, we're going to run away together. Oh, I believe she did it. I certainly do. I believe she did it, and I believe it's just a matter of time. And the question is, you talked about Samaya making you out to be a monster. Question for you, Jonathan. Are you a monster? Are you a monster?
Not at all.
Look at her face.
I could look at her face.
They need
I am not a
closure.
monster. I'm not a monster. I had nothing to do with her disappearance. I had nothing to do with her disappearance at all.
So the whole family's off. Samaya's a liar. Your brother who loves you is just crazy. Right? Everyone's just circling Jonathan.
The last I spoke with my brother, he was all bent out of shape, and he was just like, yeah, I can't believe, I'm disappointed in you and all that there stuff. And I'm like, hold on, bro. You got this all twisted. I didn't do nothing. I have no idea what the hell happened with this young lady, any of that. So
Then how did he have all those details?
I don't know how he had all those details.
He kept denying it all, but the detective just hit him with another one.
When they questioned you and they were talking to you at your home,
What time?
homicide,
Okay.
okay? You mentioned to them that she had 38 pair of underwear.
No, my wife mentioned that.
Huh?
She said
My wife
she took her prized possession all her Victoria's Secret underwear, and you said 38 pair.
Yeah, no. Well, I was giving. I don't know exact pairs of underwears with her, but I was just saying. That's what I'm saying. Really, that's what she held like to her highest standard was her underwear. Everybody, she does. I'm sorry, that's BS.
We asked her, and she didn't even know why we were asking.
She's like, yeah, she's got those underwear, but I don't know how many she has.
I asked Samaya off the cuff, yeah, your sister. She started laughing, and she said, well, no. Like, why would I know? But you threw out a number, and it's so funny, because sometimes when people are hiding something, because they're desperate, they will hide it, but their body always tattletales on them.
Why was he talking about his niece's underwear? Often, when a perpetrator is lying, they try to make their story more believable by throwing in solid numbers, such as 38 pairs of underwear in this case.
Jonathan,
very down to earth.
Why'd you get a new phone?
Oh, my phone was cracked. It was broken on the back of it, and then the front, and then the screen was starting to have
Why'd you sell your van?
Well, the
I'm
reason
a fire sale, man.
Because the starter went out on it, and
he is no longer relaxed. He is dull and in shock that the noose is tightening so quickly.
We have our DNA, which I'll be honest, we were looking at the guy across the street. He was the only guy on the radar. I didn't even know your name. Who are you? You meant nothing to me. I didn't even know you were there. Who's Uncle Jonathan? I don't know. I'm looking at the kid across the street, the 21-year-old. And I say, hey, let's get his DNA. Now, we got his DNA, sure enough. But we got yours too. Boom, who is this? Who's this?
They hadn't been focused on him before, but his own DNA put him on their radar. Another detective started interrogation, and he tried a different tactic.
Do you realize because it's your wife, and also because she's pregnant, she seems to kind of be the dominant role in your marriage, that it's also a possibility we've considered that maybe she put you up to something?
No.
And that we also need to talk to her too, and we need to bring her down here and talk to her also as a suspect.
You don't even have to do any of that. You could talk to her at the house. Like I said, that wasn't you. I talked to the other guy. You guys could have called me. I would have came in here willingly to talk to you guys. We have nothing to do with the disappearance of Ayanna Sawyer. We have nothing to do with it at all, whatsoever.
Perhaps if the mother of his new baby was at stake, he might just confess, or at the very least, take the blame away from her. But Jonathan was adamant.
I'd have nothing to do with Ayanna's disappearance whatsoever. You guys could comb through their yard. You guys could go through all the video thing, and it will exclude me from your guys' investigation. As far as Samaya goes, in that situation, you will see how many times she changes her story, and you see how unreliable her word is. I know the young lady that was sitting here is completely adamant about me being the monster, but I'm not.
She never said you were a monster.
He was trying to play the victim at one point, how he was wrongfully accused. With the second detective, he tried to make sense of what Joseph could have mistaken for the truth.
My brother called me, and I was speaking to him and pretty much giving him the rundown on what all is happening and all that. And then I also mentioned to the pastor about the allegations about this possibly being my baby and all that dear stuff. And I also said the same thing to my brother, and then his thing was like, all right, so then where is she? Where is she? And me being sarcastic, it's like, yeah, I got her tied up in the backyard. Like, where the fuck you think she is, Joe? I don't know where the hell she is. You know what I mean? And
finally, Jonathan made himself a saint.
I know you guys are saying, you guys are saying that all this here stuff, the dumpster and all that, but like I'm telling you, I have nothing to do with that. So my in the back of my head is she ran away and she's with whoever she ran away with and she's doing great, because that's what keeps me going. Not all the other allegations that you guys are coming up with, that she may be in the damn dumpster or whatnot.
Well,
then came the moment.
Did she threaten you?
Ayanna never.
Did she threaten to tell your wife about the pregnancy? Or
my wife
to get you in trouble?
No, my wife was the one that told me about the pregnancy. That was how she stood the night, the weekend prior, I think, the weekend prior to her we finding out that she was pregnant.
He played dumb.
She was weird. She was acting weird. My wife noticed it almost immediately. And she's never in the room, like that. She never isolates because she's always in the front with Jaco or always in my son's place, and she's just always in the front. Like she's out and about, and she's just distant, at that time. So when we found out that she was pregnant, now we started recalling like little things that were going on, like she was always hungry or she was always throwing up. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know anything. We never put two and two together.
She didn't want you to know. She don't want your wife to know.
Oh well, no. I didn't know. I don't know what is going on with this girl at all. That baby that she's having or holding, that has nothing to do with me whatsoever.
He assumed that acting naive would get him out of it. But no matter how much he denied it, the DNA evidence had him. The detective told him it was time.
So, Jonathan, is there anything else you'd like to say?
There's nothing else I'd like to say.
Okay. All right. Because I just want to give you every opportunity. If you don't have anything else you want to share or come clean with, then at this point I'm going to place you under arrest for sexual battery. It's a first-degree felony. And that is in regards to Samaya Sawyer. Okay?
He was taken into custody, but that was not the end. They still needed to find out what happened to Ayanna. Where was she? Jonathan Quillis was already behind bars in Duval County Jail, facing charges of sexual battery tied to her disappearance. Detective Abbott needed more, something airtight, so he turned to the one place where suspects often let their guard down, the jailhouse. Through his homicide unit and special assault partners, Abbott managed to recruit an inmate inside the facility. This inmate was given clear instructions: get close to Jonathan, listen, and see what he'd admit to when he thought no one was listening. Only 2 days into this setup, it worked. The wire started recording, and Jonathan began to talk. At first, he rambled, moved from subject to subject, spilling pieces of a puzzle he didn't even seem to realize he was laying out.
You did good by doing it, getting rid of the body and all that. Why were they pointing fingers at you? Because of my brother. Now why did you kill her? If you didn't think she was going to jail, or you just felt like it was going to hit the fan and later on.
Yeah, she was 16 when she came out that she was pregnant. There's a possibility that was mine.
He complained about his brother, questioned why he had snitched, and then shifted to Ayanna. Then came the critical part.
When you saw that, what happened there?
It was over at the job. It was loud over there.
Oh, you shot at the job and left there overnight?
It was loud at the job over there.
This girl would have jumped out screaming anything. So what about the cameras?
The camera system. It's like everything is blurry. Nothing is focused. And that's the thing. The cameras do work, but they suspect. And HP part, there's so many spots you could throw over the gate.
I guess by you killing her, you did the right thing, because you probably be in a worse situation than she was living.
It sounded chillingly like he thought he had done the only thing he could do to save himself. He even told the inmate that killing her might have actually saved him from an even worse fate. It was as if he needed to convince himself that he was the victim in all this. Detective Abbott now had his jailhouse recording, and with it in hand, he knew exactly where to go next. Ace Pick Apart, the auto salvage yard where Quillis worked, might hold the key to confirming or discrediting everything he'd said. On December 19th, the day Ayanna vanished, Quillis had reportedly left work briefly. He claimed he went up near the airport to pick up some parts, a trip that would have taken him well away from the school Ayanna attended. That excuse was thin, but plausible. What wasn't so easy to explain was where he went inside the yard. He went to his office to pick up red tape and drove off for his break. Surveillance footage showed him driving into a section of the lot where there were no cameras. That area was used by many workers. It was off limits. It was also loud, just like he'd told his brother and the wired inmate. That's the spot police now believed he lured Ayanna to before killing her, based on the jailhouse recording. There was no blood, no DNA, nothing to physically connect that gun to Ayanna, but that might have been the whole point. If he fired it that day, and any testing came back showing the weapon had been recently discharged, it would make sense. No red flags, no questions. After listening to Jonathan Quillis's jailhouse recordings, Detective Abbott focused on one lead, the dumpster. On September 20th, 2018, a garbage company had picked up a container from the salvage yard and taken it to Otis Road landfill. What followed was a massive 3-week search, costing over $1.5 million, with excavators digging through 80-foot piles of trash. They found possible clothing, but nothing conclusive. No body, no weapon, no clear evidence. The search ended with more questions than answers. 6 months after Ayanna Sawyer disappeared, investigators took the case to a grand jury. On July 18, 2019, Jonathan Quillis was indicted on 3 counts: first-degree murder of Ayanna, first-degree murder of her unborn child, and battery. In Florida, charging for the death of the unborn child was allowed, and given the case details, it felt necessary. The grand jury didn't hesitate. Detectives went back to the jail to give Quillis the news directly.
We met with the grand jury today on your case, as well as several others, and you are being indicted on first-degree murder. The 3rd count is going to be sexual battery. Okay? We need to advise you of that.
Okay.
All right. We would like to talk to you if you're willing to speak with us.
I have an attorney that's representing me, but she doesn't want me to talk to nobody without her being present.
That's fine.
On September 14th, 2023, the trial of Jonathan Quillis began inside the Duval County Courthouse in Jacksonville, Florida. He sat in the courtroom facing 3 heavy charges. He pleaded not guilty to all 3. Prosecution showed all the text messages. They were, at times, explicit and mostly emotionally manipulative.
9/4/2018, 9/27. I'm very aggravated right now. I'm going to hit you later. 9/7/2018, 12/21. Yeah, so I need you to be like 100% with me at all times. I'm just so in love with you, I'll kill you and cry.
Naomi Mobley, now Jonathan's ex-wife and Ayanna's aunt, finally spoke the truth in court. She had known.
What, if anything, did you do thereafter?
I told him at that time that he needed to stop speaking with my nieces and he needs to give my family space. I said that it looks really bad and he needs to distance himself.
Did you learn thereafter whether or not he stopped speaking and or communicating?
I learned after that he did in fact continue speaking with them.
Naomi remembered something else too. His behavior changed after Ayanna vanished.
There was a change in his behavior after she went missing. Prior to that, he was fidgety and nervous. He was restless. After she went missing, then he slept like a baby.
Jonathan's brother, Joseph Quillis, also stepped up. He told the jury about a series of calls between him and Jonathan during that critical 48-hour window, December 18th to 20th, 2018.
His demeanor was a little off. It was kind of like he was nervous or a little panicky about something.
Have you heard your brother sound panicky to you on previous occasions?
No. It was more concerned about what is he going to do with the young lady in question. That she might be pregnant, and what is he going to do? He doesn't want to ruin his family and mess up what he has already going on.
He told Joseph he had picked Ayanna up from school under the pretense of running away together. Then came the hardest part.
He had her sitting in a vehicle, waiting. He tried to strangle her. It didn't work out. He couldn't stomach it. And so then he later went and shot her in the chest. And then he proceeded to discard the body by transporting it into a dumpster and destroying the vehicle.
Now, Mr. Quiles, were you surprised by what he told you?
Absolutely.
In the end, it wasn't just Joseph's heartbreak or Naomi's testimony or the Snapchats that turned the tide. It was Jonathan Quiles himself. He couldn't stop talking. The jailhouse recordings are what got him in the end. The jury didn't need to imagine what happened. They heard it from Quiles himself. As the audio played, the courtroom felt the air shift. Jurors turned to stare at him. Their faces said it all. That was the moment. That was when doubt fell away and conviction took its place.
You shot her, how you killed her? You don't mind me asking, I'm just blunt.
Yeah, I know.
I know you don't really want to talk about it. It's all going to be able to get rid of the body.
See, I dump garbage over at the landfill and be buried under like 3 feet of garbage.
One by one, the jury delivered their verdicts. Guilty of first-degree murder of Ayanna Sawyer. Guilty of first-degree murder of her unborn child. Guilty of battery against a minor. No hesitation, no ambiguity. Then came the final question. Should Jonathan Quiles spend the rest of his life in prison, or should he face the death penalty? The jury didn't deliberate long. When they returned, they announced their decision. Life in prison, no chance of parole. The judge made it official. 3 consecutive life sentences. Not because there was blood or DNA or a body, but because in the end, Jonathan Quiles gave them the truth himself, and it was more than enough. This case didn't end because someone cracked. It ended because Jonathan Quiles couldn't stop talking. Not to police, not to family, not even to a jailhouse Bible study group. He confessed, not once, but over and over, until his own words buried him deeper than any evidence ever could. Ayanna Sawyer didn't get justice because of forensics or surveillance. She got justice because silence couldn't hold a lie that heavy. In a world where people demand proof, a body, a bullet, a lab test, sometimes the truth leaks out the old-fashioned way. One mistake at a time, one secret shared too far. In the end, it wasn't the system that caught up to him. It was the weight of what he did. Thanks for watching the channel. If this case hit you as hard as it hit us, make sure to subscribe, drop a comment, and share Ayanna's story. Because sometimes justice needs more than a verdict. It needs an echo.